Hello everyone, my name is Luke Curl. I'm a Golden Harvest Agronomist. Today I'd like to talk with you guys about early season weed control in both corn and in soybeans. Before I get into the nuts and bolts of good management practices of weed control, I wanted to hit you guys with a few key facts that come from great weed control. Now, ultimately, we understand that good weed control protects our top end yield, but that starts early season, starting clean and staying clean. Because when we start with a dirty field of weeds and the corn is up out of the ground and those weeds are there and we don't have them killed, that ultimately affects how that corn plant's going to grow the rest of the year, and that can take off top end yield. This fact you guys might find quite interesting. 2 to 4 inch weeds, they can uptake 13 pounds of nitrogen, 0.85 pounds of phosphorus, and 16 pounds of potassium. Now, that's a lot, and those are things that we have to consider when we're trying to control these very tough weeds. And lastly, you guys know that these weeds produce hundreds, if not millions, of seeds. And so we have to control these so those weeds don't deposit more seeds into the seed bank and ultimately costing us more time and more money. If we do these things right, in return, it will then help us save time and save money. So let's jump into corn. First and ultimately, one of the best things that I've started to see is layering residuals in early spring or late fall. Now, this is a new adapted practice, but I've seen firsthand that this works very well, and I think it's something that we need to add into our toolbox. Now, jumping into at planting time. One of the key things is starting clean, staying clean. You guys will hear me say that over and over again. We need to start clean. So we need to, one, either implement a tillage early springtime to knock down any of those early weeds, or an early season burn down. And then we start applying residuals and more modes of action to take down weeds that are present once the corn is actively growing. And that brings me into a great point once the corn's up in your post-emerge applications. When you start spraying the corn, we have to, again, apply more residuals and continue to layer those residuals, because ultimately that's our best defense to knock these weeds back and keep them at bay. And so we have to continue to apply more residuals every time we're across the field and multiple passes throughout the growing year. Now let me get off my soapbox and let's jump into soybeans. With soybeans, we can implement a lot of the same practices that we do with corn. And you guys are going to continue to hear me say it. We have to have multiple trips across the field. We have to have multiple layers of residual with multiple modes of action. And then within our portfolio today, we have both E3 genetics and we have Extend Flex genetics. So we have multiple modes, depending on what portfolio you're in, to apply and keep those weeds at bay. Now, 2 key things early on that you guys can do to help manage weeds is going to be, number 1 is early season planted soybeans are going to get up sooner, have a better canopy before some of those more tougher weeds start to emerge. And also is going to be increasing your guys' populations and maintaining good populations to help you have a nice canopy. Once again, appreciate you guys watching this video today. And ultimately, don't forget, start clean, stay clean, and spray dirt, not weeds. Have a good day, guys. Thank you.